Hey there, Papper people. It is me, Jason. Welcome to my channel, The Lanky Lefty 27. Happy to have you here today. In this video, I'm going to be doing a review of the brand new Philips Respironics DreamStation 2 Auto CPAP Advanced. That is a long name, and I am going to try to bring the energy in this one. First things first though, because I don't want to get interrupted while I'm doing this review, I'm going to mention the sponsor of this video right now, and without them, I would not even have the DreamStation 2 to review. So I want to say thank you right now to CPAPSupplies.com. Please check them out for all of your CPAP needs. They do a lot of great things. The best and most great thing, the greatest thing that they do is they sponsor my videos. They always offer anything that they have to sell. They offer it to me to review. They're a great resource for me as far as financially during these very difficult times. And in doing so, they're really supporting the CPAP community as a whole as far as education is concerned. The other thing they do that I really love is they don't tell me what I have to say. They say, take the product, give it an honest review, let people know we're there. Honestly, what more could you want in a sponsor? Now, there's some other things about CPAPSupplies.com that you should know. One, they have a 30-day mask guarantee. If you hate the mask that you got from them, you have 30 days, swap it out for a different one. Now, CPAPSupplies.com also speaks another language that is near and dear to my heart, and that is cheapness. If you find a mask, a machine, an accessory, and you find it cheaper at another website, you let them know, they'll drop the price and match it. Oftentimes though, you don't even have to do that because they have a robust coupon section that is right there on the header of their website. It's almost impossible to miss. So if you don't see what you like, give it a week. You'll probably see one there that'll save you a ton of cash. And if you don't see a coupon code that works for you, you can always use Lefty16. That'll save you at least 16%. Check out the sponsor of this video, CPAPSupplies.com. In looking at the DreamStation 2, I got it a little bit late. I'd already started to see some reviews coming out about it online, and I also saw some other videos online on YouTube about the DreamStation 2, and a lot of them were a little negative. And so I was like, damn, that kind of sucks. Because I think the last one, the DreamStation, came out like 5 years ago. I wanted this to be something awesome. And so I used it for 5 nights, and I came up with my own thoughts about it. So I'm gonna share those thoughts with you as well as what other people said, and we'll just talk about it and we'll see if it matters to you. Come on over to my bed. So let's take a really close look at the DreamStation 2 as it sits on my bedstand. One thing is, this thing is really light. It is extremely light. It probably weighs, I don't know, it's light. Look it up online, it's light. Now compared to the DreamStation, they said it's 29% smaller and 32% lighter. That's great. This I've been hearing is a complaint online, and to me it's really not that big a deal because I'm not going to be moving this as it sits next to my bed. Really, I think this is about as large as my iPad. Obviously it's thicker. Really not a huge unit all in all. Let's take a closer look at the DreamStation 2. One, I think this is actually a really beautiful unit. I think it's really pretty. It's definitely, it can be hidden better on the left side of the bed. I happen to sleep on the right side of my bed, so because of that, you can see here it's actually quite seamless if I were sleeping on that side, but when I spin it around this way, now I have a big old cord coming out. Really not a huge deal, but they did try to do a good job of hiding the cord where, look, it plugs in on this side. I guess actually, let me try to become intelligent for once in my life. Never mind, it's actually fine. Now I can totally hide it on this side. That's cool, I actually just discovered that as I'm filming the video. Awesome research, Jason. But anyway, you can get the cord out of the way. That's cool. Better than I thought. But this unit looks very sleek, it looks futuristic, all that's cool, those are just looks. Now, one of the complaints I've heard about this is you can get a lot of, in touching it, you can get like fingerprints and stuff. It's kind of like that piano finish. I've actually heard a lot of people complain about that in the Tesla. I don't own one, so too poor. But that's a complaint. Really, I don't touch this thing a whole lot. I've used it for 5 days now. It had dust on the top, I didn't see any fingerprints. But really you can just wipe it down with a cloth if it really bothers you, but I'm not looking at it too much as I don't hang around my bed all day. So not really a big issue for me. One of the things I thought was a fair complaint is this thing, they make it really small and really light. It's really odd to me because I'm not sure why you would want to make it smaller and lighter since it's not really meant for travel. They already have the DreamStation Go. That's an awesome travel unit. So why make this light and small if it's just going to be sitting on the side of your bed? I mean, make it smaller, sure, but why lighter? I'm not sure why, but I mean, if that's what they can do and that's what they want to do, So the one thing, my one concern when I saw that it was smaller and lighter is how is it going to stay on my bedside? It's, you know, you kind of almost want a paperweight so it's not going to move around. And so the one thing I found that was actually really good is it has these little rubber footings on the bottom. You can see this big rubber pad right here, all rubber. And then this, you have another rim here that's rubber. And with that, if I were to try to push it, it doesn't really slide as easily as you would think. The way I have it set up, I have the tube coming towards me, so if I am pulling on it, I'm pulling this pretty hard, and it doesn't really want to come all that easy. Now, another complaint I heard about this that I thought was interesting is the humidification system. And it's a fair point. A lot of the other systems, there's a way that you can pull the humidifier out, and there's a way to just take this part with you if you wanted to use it like as a travel device. And with this, you can see this giant flange coming off of this that holds the humidifier in place, and this thing can't come off. It's not going anywhere. Other machines, it's either fully integrated or there's a way to pull it off and cap the end so you can use it without the humidifier. This one, this thing has got to be on. Now for me, that's not a huge deal. I don't really care. Traveling with it, I mean, if I can't pack this much more, I'm doing something wrong when I'm packing. This isn't all that much more, so for me to take this, I mean, the bag that it comes with, I'm putting it in there anyway, and it has room for this, so I might as well take it. I'm not gonna stuff it with like socks and underwear. So I'm not really sure what that complaint's about. The one thing I did think was odd, and it's really not a huge deal either, but look at this humidifier. So when you pull it out, you know, it comes out this way, and I can see these breaking, these little eyelets. So I have to lift up on this side, and then this comes off. Now this is really reminiscent of the previous machine, the System 1. The System 1 had these little hooks that you had to hook on here, and those hooks would break. And so it's really curious to me why they went back with these little eyelets that you have to hook on here, because those things were breaking all the time and it's a giant pain in the ass. But for whatever reason they did, and that is what it is. I can see this being broken by a lot of people. Now you have to put it on just so, slide it back in. Not a huge deal, just a little frustrating. I think overall though, what they were going for was a sleek design with very minimal buttons and things that you can see. Yes, the LCD screen is on top, and yes, that seems like a dumb idea because when you're laying in bed, now you can't look at it, but why the hell are you looking at your LCD screen while you're in bed? If there's a change you want to make or you want to do anything, check the leak, the mask leak, just do it, you know, while you're sitting up. Hit the button and see what you've got going on. But to me, I don't sit there and look at the LCD screen all night. So the other complaint of the LCD screen being on top, it's kind of a non-starter for me. If I were to get in the head of like a typical CPAP user, is I'm gonna sit up on the edge of the bed in the morning, I'm gonna be sitting up above it, I'm gonna hit the top, and I'm gonna be able to see all the information I wanna see upright. So I don't see that as being a big problem. So another complaint that I had heard is the LCD screen is very laggy. So I can definitely understand this one. So forgive me, this is gonna be a little awkward. I'm gonna go in and try to change the flex setting. So here we go. So I'd hit it a couple times to get the flex to change. So that's good, I'm gonna turn it off. Yeah, that's not bad. I think if you really watch where your finger goes, you should be okay. Now, previously, when I first pulled this thing out of the box and I was messing around with all the settings, I did find it to be a little bit laggy and not real responsive to my finger touching it. But really, worst case scenario, even if it is laggy, this isn't something like that's life and death. If I have to hit it a few times to get it to take, whatever. Now, I probably change the settings on these more than most because I often do it whenever I'm reviewing a mask or machine. I'd like to change the settings around. I change the settings a lot, and if this thing is lagging on me and it takes me 2 seconds instead of 1, I think my life is okay if that's my biggest complaint. Now here's another thing I've heard people complain about is that the SD card and things are placed behind the humidifier. Here we see that there's an SD card slot. I put that in there before I started using it because I really want to see if this thing works with Oscar. That's going to be in the very next video. I'm going to film that right after this. But also we have right here the filter. So this is really easy to get out. You're just gonna pull on this tab. Then you have your little filter here that you're gonna change out and do whatever with. Replace it. Blue side goes down. Slide it back in. Really, to me, not a big deal that it's behind the humidifier. I've heard that's a bad thing somehow. I don't know why that's such a big issue. Again, I think it's going to their overall design of let's make this as sleek as possible, looking like it has absolutely 0 buttons. Let's be honest. Look at this design. Does it remind you of anything? Like a very, very sleek design with little to no buttons? To me, their overall goal was to create something that's sleek, appears to have no buttons, and really blends into the environment. And I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Now, one of the last complaints that I've heard about the DreamStation 2 is that it doesn't have a swivel here. Oh my God, no swivel. Are you kidding me? Who cares? Even if it has a swivel, this is the machine I typically use. Look, it has a swivel. It swivels all around. But ultimately, it's just to get it to the side that you want it on. Unless you have it go up over the headboard, which is, you'd have it like that versus like that. This swivels. It's not like this is some kind of a giant leap in technology. So that really doesn't bother me either. Ultimately, when I'm going to bed, I have this thing set up, however I'm gonna have it set up during the day so it looks like it blends into the environment. At night, I slightly turn this so the tube is coming right where I need it to. And that's it. I don't even think about it. Now, there's a couple other things with the DreamStation 2 Auto that we need to talk about. One is, do I overall recommend this as a machine to get for home use? Let me say this with one caveat. As far as for home use, for someone who's like a typical user of CPAP, they just want to come in, hit the button and let it go. Yes, I think it's perfectly fine for you guys. I've been using it on a range of 6 to 10 and I haven't woken up at all at night. I found it to be quite pleasant. I don't know what the algorithm is. I'm assuming it's probably the same, but I don't know. I'm gonna try to figure that out here shortly. But as far as like a typical user that's gonna go home, hit the button, and call it a day or a night, I think it's fine. I have no problems with it whatsoever. I didn't have any problem with the DreamStation though. Really, so long as they are quiet and do their job, I think it's fine. Ooh, that reminds me. Is it quiet? It's quiet. So I was using this on a range of 6 to 10. I didn't notice anything different. I slept great with it. Average user is gonna find it to be perfectly great and it blends in with 0 buttons and no notches and knobs and stuff like that. It's nice, sleek design. I think that's what they were going for. Light, sleek, just like your cell phone. Does it have any big major breakthroughs technology-wise? No, but did we really expect that? I think if we have a major technology breakthrough, it's gonna be the elimination of CPAP altogether and the elimination of a mask. And whoever has that next huge breakthrough is gonna be a billionaire. So I'm not exactly expecting them to come out with a new machine and solve all kinds of other problems. Okay, that gets us into some other things. So for me, I like other things like Oscar compatibility. If you're not familiar with Oscar, Oscar is a free program. You can find it at sleepfiles.com/Oscar, and you can get a download whether you have a Mac or a PC. If this isn't compatible with Oscar, then I hate it. And I'm being dead serious. Oscar to me is the end all be all, and that is where you're gonna find all the solutions to your problems. You're gonna be able to see exactly what's going on in your sleep at every point during the night, and that's where you're gonna solve problems to fully optimize your sleep with CPAP. So if this isn't compatible with Oscar, I'm gonna say it again, I hate it. As of right now, I don't know if it's compatible with Oscar, so we'll find that out in a bit. Now there's another issue with this that I will bring up in another video, and that is, when this was released, there's a notification made about the DreamStation. That's for another video also. This is strictly a product review. So in the spirit of just a product review for the average user, the DreamStation 2 Auto CPAP Advanced, I like it. It's nice. It does the job. Now in future videos here coming up, I'm gonna be getting into the weeds on things that are much more important to me and should be to you. Now this is a great time to mention, if you are having a hard time with CPAP, through my business, axgsleepdiagnostics.com, I do one-on-one Zoom sessions where I look at your Oscar data and I can make determinations as far as what things are going wrong in your sleep, why you're waking up still feeling tired, why you're waking up with a headache, memory fog, concentration. If you're having any of those problems and your machine is reporting an AHI of under 5 and your doctor's like, I don't know, you're doing fine, just keep wearing the CPAP. Check out my service. Pretty much everyone I see is in your boat. You're not alone. It's usually a very easy fix, and I'm more than happy for some loot. To go through your data, educate you about what I'm seeing, how you can see it too, and getting the problem resolved. We'll come up with an action plan. It's easy. It's like an hour, no sweat. So please check that out at axgsleepdiagnostics.com. Okay, now I am really curious. I'm kicking the ball at you, Bubbles. If you like the DreamStation 2 or you think it sucks, let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your thoughts, especially if you're a pro. If you're a pro in the biz, I want to hear from you. I'm just kidding. I don't want to hear from you. I want to hear from the average Joe, the regular CPAP people. Do you think this is a nice machine? Or are you ticked off about the DreamStation? in that little possible scandal. Check out my next video. Anyway, please check out my links in the description box down below. There are ways you can help support this channel, but probably the best way you can support this channel is simply by subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and sharing it with others. I greatly appreciate that. But also the links, check those out too. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.
Here is a wild, lanky sleep tech, begging on the streets like a hobo. It appears his idiotic plan of doling out free sleep advice has not helped out his pocketbook in any way. You could help him out by checking out the links in the description box below. This includes an Amazon affiliate link that you can use every time you shop Amazon, Patreon, or PayPal donations, becoming a YouTube member, or visiting axgsleepdiagnostics.com or maskbright.com. Though his idiotic plan is certainly not making him any money, he is still clearly a thick boy. Yeah, you're very thick. I like that.
Thank you, and I appreciate you watching.
Thank you to anyone watching this video, but an extra special thank you to my top level Patreon supporters and low level. Thanks buddy to Sarvesh Joshi, Stuart Hetherington, and Mona Swearingen. Thank you, and thanks buddy.